Hello again from me, Rouvaun Smit. Thanks for joining me on A Sure Thing as we look ahead to racing on Sunday. Racing schedule for KwaZulu-Natal, and boy oh boy, have they had lots of rain about. It certainly caused havoc with the program. A few meetings had to be cancelled. The forecast says that we should go ahead as scheduled, so fingers crossed that we do race on Sunday in the capital. Pietermaritzburg is where we are for an 8-race program at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, where racing gets underway at 12:30. We're probably going to have to play with a bit of cover here and there because of the soft underfoot conditions, but I'm sure we'll find a few winners as we work our way through this card. First race on the program is a maiden juvenile plate for fillies, where 11 runners will contest this 1,200-metre event. I make this a boat race between number 2 Mystic Dancer and number 5 Barrington Blue. They met last time out. 2 Mystic Dancer finished second, a short head, while number 5 Barrington Blue finished fourth, 1.6 lengths behind the winner. Mystic Dancer was running on in the closing stages, while Barrington Blue showed pace and was staying on. Both of them would have come on with the benefit of that run. Both of them will show any amount of natural improvement, but I'm certainly going to be siding with number 2 Mystic Dancer. Andrew Fortune's ride, I'm sure he'll be itching to get back to that winner's enclosure as quickly as possible after having announced his comeback. So 2 Mystic Dancer to win it, ahead of 5 Barrington Blue. Third, I'm going with 8 Quick Step Gal, and fourth, number 9 Winter Blessing. 2, 5, 8 and 9 are the numbers I'm going with in the opener. Race 2, maiden plate, fillies and mares, 12 runners to run over 1,200 metres. Now, you can look at this one of two ways. It's either a boat race or you look elsewhere. I'm in the camp of looking elsewhere, so I'm going with number 10 Lucian as my first choice selection. That was a promising debut, sat just off the pace and was staying on at the business end of affairs. With that run under the belt and with improvement to come, I do think will give a very good account of herself and be a lot more competitive, and I do feel that she could take the lion's share of the prize money. Garth Puller using 4 kilo claiming Appium Hlongwe as his jockey, and I do think they can unsettle in the number 1 box. If you look at this as a boat race, it's obviously between number 3 KMV Retrofit and number 8 Greenlight Queen. They met last time out. Greenlight Queen was a short head second, while KMV Retrofit finished third, beaten 1.3 lengths by the winner. But that was a run full of merit for number 8 Greenlight Queen, who returned not striding out. The horse that incidentally finished fourth in that race was a horse called Princess Goldie, and she subsequently come out and franked that form line, so that certainly has given that form line a boost. But 8 Greenlight Queen, I do believe, will finish ahead of number 3 KMV Retrofit. Another horse that needs to be taken into account is number 11 Austrian Beauty, who's still improving, lightly raced, and I do think more to come. So, as I said, I'm going elsewhere, not for the boat race. I'm going 10, 8, 3 and 11 with my numbers in race number 2. Race 3 is an open maiden, 8 runners to run over 1,400 metres, and this race has literally been handed on a silver platter to number 7 Messalina. Found the right race. I don't think could have found any other race as easy as this to come and win its maiden. In fact, has to still travel down to KZN, but Corne Spies certainly travels his horse as well, with Kabela Matsaniani on board. I make this the best bet on the card, number 7 Messalina. The rest of them really do not have inspiring form. There are 2 first-timers who I do think will probably fill the minor placings, but with that solid form that Messalina has, getting closer with each and every start, I do think will go one better and unsettle in the number 1 box and probably win it with consummate ease. So 7 Messalina to win it, ahead of number 5 Dancing on a Cloud, 6 Apache AG, and for fourth I'm throwing in 1 Samuel Longsword. 7, 5, 6, 1, the numbers, race number 3. Race 4 is a D-Stakes, 7 runners to contest the 1,600-metre event. Now, there are a couple that's got quite hefty weights that they're carrying. The likes of 1 Whisper of War carries 64, along with 3 Run to Rio. Also number 7 Beach Palace. They carry top weights of 64 kilos. I'm going to look elsewhere, and I'm going to side with number 5 Future Saint. Has got decent form, fourth last time out. The horse that finished second that day was a horse called Numzam, who subsequently come out and franked that form line, and I do think Tini Prinsloo, Kabela Matsaniani can take the lion's share of the prize money. So 5 Future Saint to win it, ahead of 1 Whisper of War, who won her only attempt over the course and distance. For third, I'm going with number 7 Beach Palace. That was a decent last effort over the course and distance. And for fourth, I'm going with 3, Run to Rio. 5173, the numbers I'm going with in race number 4. We move on to race 5, which is a C Stakes. 14 runners to contest the 1600 metre event, and here's a race where a case can be made for a number of them. I'll start with one, Festival of Magic. This was Mike and Matthew de Kock's only run on the day. That was a good comeback run. Should strip fit a second run after rest, so that's one for the shortlist. 3 Parmenian does carry a hefty weight of 64, but does get the services of Andrew Fortune for the stable of Garth Puller. Besides the big weight, cannot be ignored and needs to be taken into account, particularly when it comes to the placings. 3 Terminator from the stable of Andre Nell. Ignore that last run. 10 Global Movement, solid form. Another one who had genuine excuses last time out and needs to be taken into account. But I do like number 11, World of Our Own. This horse comes back from a bit of a break. I do think the break would have done him well. That last run where he won before going off for 10 weeks has been franked multiple times. And I do think with any amount of improvement still to come, lightly raced, should be the one they all have to beat. So I'm siding with 11, World of Our Own, to come out fresh. To beat number 10, Global Movement. For third, I'm going 3, Parmenian. And fourth, number 1, Festival of Magic. 11, 10, 3, 1, the numbers I'm going with in race number 5. Race 6 is a Class 5 fillies and mares. Benchmark 66, 8 runners to run over 1400 metres. Now, if one looks at this race, it might be small, but it is pretty competitive. 1, Mistress Rebecca won that last start from sitting up handy. The horse that finished third that day was a horse called Deputy Chief, who subsequently come out and won. So Mistress Rebecca cannot be ignored. 5, the Queen Bees, half a kilo better off at the weights, renewing rivalry with number 6, Princess Palace. That was for a 2.1 length beating. I don't think the weight difference would make any difference. But the one thing that does count in the Queen Bee's favour is that she won her only attempt over the course and distance. Am I ever in the camp of number 6, Princess Palace? That was a very good last run, albeit on the poly. This horse likes to race up handy, and if I go back one page in the winning form, Duncan Hull says that Princess Palace is racing consistently and with the allowance of 1.5 kilos can give a good account. That's good enough for me. 6, Princess Palace to win it, ahead of 1, Mistress Rebecca, 5, the Queen Bee, and 8, Elusive Bell. Penultimate race on the card is race number 7. It's a Class 4 fillies and mares, benchmark 80 over 1200. Now here's another one of those races where you probably could make a case for a number of them as well, because this is a very competitive fillies and mares race. Number 1, Vision to Achieve, blinkers are off, loves to race up handy, fair recent form, 2 Wings of Josephine, good post maiden run last time out, another one that needs to be taken into account. I ever like number 3, Smart Cookie. This horse has got solid form. Now if you look at the form, this horse has always been there or thereabout, but has been a bit expensive to follow. This horse owes us. Started favour the last couple of starts, and I do think that needs to now sort of put its mind on the task at hand and finish off the way the race should be finished off. So I'm going with number 3, 1, Smart Cookie to win it, ahead of number 2, Wings of Josephine. For third, I'm going with a horse that I went for last time out to run into the money, and that's number 10, Happy Analia. And for fourth, I'm going with number 6, Happy Fortune, who's having her third run after rest. So 3, 2, 10 and 6, the numbers in race number 7. And that takes us on to the lucky last, race 8 on the card, scheduled to jump at 1640, a field of 11 runners to contest this B Stakes over 1,000 metres. I see number 2, Northern Warrior, has certainly got decent form. Third run after rest, 1 for the shortlist. Number 4, War Empress, another one who's got solid recent form, will be doing her best work late, another one that cannot be ignored. 5, Lohamba Pambile, returns to KZN with strong Cape Town form, so that's also one that could possibly cause an upset. But when I got to number 6, 21 May, I immediately page back in the winning form, and Duncan Hull says 21 May. Good last effort, enjoys this course and distance, and can give a good account. So Let's go with number 6, 21 May, ahead of number 4, War Empress, 2, Northern Dancer, and 5, Lamba Pambile. 6, 4, 2, 5, the numbers race 8, and that's it for our preview on Sunday at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. Fingers crossed, weather plays its part. Trust you'll find the winners. Till next time, from me, Rouvaun. Cheers for now.